Um, so my last point that I want to make is to start conversations to engage people. And I really want to emphasize that good communication, good PR is really more than a monologue. It's really a conversation between different people. So you're already doing it. What we want to do is to make you good conversation starters. And these can be in-person conversations or they can be online conversations. The point is that you really want to start communicating to people in a way that's beneficial to you and to the other party, going back to the definition of PR that I mentioned earlier. So, first of all, I don't see anyone sleeping here, which is good. You want to interest people in your network. You really don't want to bore them, right? Now it sounds obvious, but we all know those people, right? You all know these people who talk on and on and on and don't listen, right? You all know these kinds of people, right? They don't listen, they don't ask you a question. So my father calls these people books on tape. And books on tape, cassette tapes that someone would read a book and you put it in your cassette tape in your car, because that was very sophisticated at the time. And now we have audiobooks and podcasts instead. But please don't do that. I mean, when you're networking or selling or publicizing your work, you really want to engage your clients and audiences. You don't want to talk at them. And that's one of the things that I really like about social media, because it gives you the opportunity to start a dialogue with people. And the best way to really communicate with your audiences is to give them information that they don't know. To educate them, to help them learn from what you've done, to tell them something new. So we call that, in our office, we say that you should teach, not preach. So I talked about stories and how they can really engage people. So in the same way, the why of a project, why am I crossing the road, is as important as the what. I mean, listing a whole bunch of numbers or statistics or metrics or design features isn't really going to make your phone ring off the hook, right? I mean, it's important at a certain point in the process, but really you want to bring people in and engage them. So when you're thinking about promoting a particular project, or you're gathering information together to promote that project, think of some questions you might ask yourself. For example, what do you want to know? What do you want people to know about it? Is it cool? Does it represent a trend? How's it going to help me get more projects? Is there anything significant about the design or the process or the materials? What first does it represent? And the other way you can use a project too to engage your clients is by involving them in your outreach. So, for example, if you really want to make a connection with a particular client, you help them to help you. So, if you want to do a speaking engagement, then maybe you do a speaking engagement with your client on a panel. Ask the client to participate with you. Or if you want to talk about a particular project, ask your client to co-author the article with you. I mean, they may not write a single word. They might just say, fine, put my name on it. But that also will boost your expertise, because that's going back to the third-party credibility. That's giving you that third-party credibility. Or you can ask for a quote for a client for a press release, or feature a client in one of your newsletters. So there's a lot of ways to really bring them into that process. So I've got 2 more slides, and I want to emphasize strategy, and I also want to tell you that my favorite football team is the Steelers. And Denver beat them, so they will not be going to the Super Bowl. But so no matter what kind of outreach you do, a couple things to remember. First of all, you want to support your strategic business goals. So just like you don't have the bandwidth to respond to every single RFP that crosses your desk, or every RFQ that comes in, you're just not going to do it, right? You have to focus on the PR campaigns that are going to yield the greatest results for your firm. I'm saying this because we have a lot of clients who want to do press release about every single project, and some of those projects may not be as newsworthy as other projects. And when you're reaching out to the media, you really want to develop good relationships with the media as well. So you have to kind of strike that balance between giving them, making your partners happy with what they want to promote, and then also always be giving good information to the media, right? And not, the good stuff, not just everything. Second, you need to use your resources wisely. And so this is really important. So say you just finished a private house, but you really want to get into, say, hospitality work. So you need to just decide where to spend your time and resources. If you're going in a different direction, you don't want to put all of your PR eggs in the same basket and focus on the private house if you want to get into hospitality. So think about that balance. The other thing to remember is that even though you might have a big project, it may not be your best one. So focused on quality as much as quantity. And then third, you need to grab the attention you deserve. I mean, you want to match your competition, and certainly most of your competition is probably doing some sort of PR, whether or not it's consistent, but they're probably doing some kind of outreach, sending out press releases, reaching out to the press. It's it's part of the way that we do business these days. And if they're not doing it, and then you start doing PR, then that just puts you that much ahead of the game. So it's really important. You've done great things. Make sure that people know about it. Going back to that, well, if a tree falls in the forest, and does someone hear it? Make sure that someone's in the forest to hear a tree falling, right? Okay. So, now that I've given you all the tools to great PR, you're in the driver's seat. And look how cute you are. So now you're going to go back to your firms and you're going to develop a focus message. And if you don't have one, if you don't have one already, and then you're going to use all the available channels for communication as I've shown you. So, in addition, what you need to keep in mind. Well, make sure that you have ways to cut through the noise. You want to excite your networks with dynamic projects and ideas. And then, most of all, be true to yourself. Just as nothing beats good work, drop the spin and stick with sincerity. It works every time, I guarantee it. So go out and do PR, and may the force be with you. Thank you for joining us today, and I'm happy to answer any questions.